cartoons and animation, and analyze how they affect the pop cultural landscape at large. I'm one of your hosts, Nikki.
I'm Nina.
And I'm Tooch, the river spirit dragon of the Delaware River, but I mostly just look like a small, sickly salamander with 3 legs.
Was that in the painting?
Well, I just meant the Delaware water is not good.
Yeah, that's why that other guy, spirit, was like...
That's why he had a bike stuck in him.
Yeah, a whole bicycle.
I forgot that the Delaware River was a river, and I thought it was just a painting.
What?
Oh, yeah.
It's a painting of a thing that happened at a place.
That was a long time ago. I figured much like the Kohaku River, they built condos on it.
Yep.
Maybe they did. I don't even know. They're certainly, it's Delaware. I wouldn't put it past them.
This week we are talking about Spirited Away, a episode that I've really been looking forward to doing because I want to hear what Nina has to say, because she's been kind of teasing it to us but keeping it under wraps.
I always look forward to what Nina has to say.
Aww.
Yeah, me too. It's the best part of the show.
So cute.
When I first came up with the idea for the podcast, I briefly forgot about my sister that I have, and it was just going to be me and Tucci. Can you imagine what a fucking shit show that would have been?
I know, it was like, you were talking about, and it was like, what about me? It was the 3 of us talking cartoons when Tooch came to visit.
Yeah. Speaking of which, MagFest is coming up next month. We're all going to be there.
You be there too.
Yeah, I don't know if we're going to do any kind of meetup, but if you're going to be there, let us know, and we'll try to do something. We want to gauge how many people are going to be there.
Maybe we can try to make a cheapo buttons or something.
Yeah, because MagFest 2 years ago was kind of the seed where Toon Goons started, because Tooch came over kind of on a whim, because I had an extra ticket, and I was like, somebody please relieve me of this financial burden. And Tooch came over, and like, drive to and back every time, because we were idiots and didn't get a hotel. We just talked about Scooby-Doo and shit, and that was when I realized, like, we and Tooch we could just talk about it nonstop, so that's what we do now.
Yeah. It was literally nonstop.
Oh, man. So, we're doing Spirited Away. It's week 2 of Japanuary. If I'm panting a lot, it's because I just went outside to smoke in really cold weather, and now my lungs are ruined. And I'm going to try to cut as much of that out, but Jesus Christ, I can't breathe.
Let's see here. Well, I guess the biggest story that's kind of been going around lately is the revival of As Told by Ginger, and whether or not it's a real thing. Because at first, I kept hearing stories that said, yes, this is happening. They're going to bring it back for 2017 or whatever. It's going to pick up right where it left off. They're going to modernize it, but it's going to be the same characters.
And apparently the same time period, but like everybody's going to have undercuts and shit, so who knows?
I hope so.
Yeah, I first heard about this story on Facebook, and that's why I was kind of hesitant, because I was like...
Facebook's not even real.
Like, the articles that people link on Facebook come from these websites that are just make articles for Facebook.
Yes.
You're not allowed to post legitimate facts on Facebook. It has to be in the form of a listicle about, like, I don't know, toxins and chemtrails.
Yeah, and, like, apparently even Emily Kapnek, the original creator, was supposed to be part of the team, and blah, blah, blah. And everybody was like, oh, this is great. As Told by Ginger. It was, like, reported on Teen Vogue. Like, thank you to Plarcy for sending us that particular article. But I keep seeing these articles everywhere, and I don't know why there's this huge attachment to it. But then, there was an update on Refinery 29 as of, like, the day after the story dropped and kind of went everywhere. That said that apparently a press representative from Nickelodeon told them that the movie pilot story about As Told by Ginger is untrue and has been removed. Nickelodeon will not be bringing back the cartoon. It's a false alarm, apparently. I don't know what I believe anymore. Probably that.
Yeah, because, like, I don't remember it being a bad show. It was well received for its time, and I'm sure plenty of people remember it fondly. And it was a pretty cool sitcom-y type deal where everybody looked like Rugrats, but it wasn't.
It was about a girl and her problems.
It was a
and,
legit
like,
teen drama. It was just animated.
Yeah. But like, I don't. It's not like right now. We're still on a big bringing back like late '90s shit kick.
Yes.
And I think like that'll probably have its day, if ever, eventually. I don't know, but I don't know. It's not. I haven't seen enough gift sets of As Told by Ginger to make me think there's an audience for it.
Yeah, well,
if that's a good barometer, and I think it is.
Well,
from what I've
Nickelodeon
freaking seen.
keeps coming out with saying they're going to bring stuff back, and the format keeps sort of changing of whether it's going to be a series or on a web series or a movie or whatever. Honestly, like, I wouldn't get too excited about anything
I don't even think
now.
If their ability to schedule their whole week ahead of time is any indication, I don't think Nickelodeon has any idea what they're doing in 2017.
Yeah, I think that's just something we're going to have to figure out as we get there. So I wouldn't hype too much.
I wouldn't, because there's you get these all the time. Like, I'll be talking about cartoons and just randomly, and then someone will just be like, who doesn't know anything, just be like, oh yeah, I saw like somebody like to bring back this one cartoon, and like you can tell like the look on their faces, they just believe every post they've ever seen in their lives about everything. And I know for a fact, because I'm me, that it's not true. And at this point in my life, I'm just like, oh really? Yeah, that's cool. And then I just leave because it's just not.
These are the same ding-dongs who think Nickelodeon is named after Nick Cannon.
That's not a...
Have you ever met one of these ding-dongs? I work with one of these ding-dongs. He sucks. And not just
you
because
should
of
buy
that.
him a whole box of ding-dongs for his birthday.
The channel's been around since 1991, 1990 or whatever.
It was like 88, actually.
Yeah, started
Before
in the 80s.
I mean, they had their own stuff in 91, but before that they were just like... doing
game
syndicated
shows and
stuff.
syndicated stuff.
Yeah.
It's
a really, really stupid thing to think.
Jesus.
Yeah. So anyway, I'm not too broken up about this. I haven't revisited the show in a while, but my memory of the show tells me it wasn't very good. It was like weirdly up its own butt, and everybody was motivated by stupid made-up things. And
I mean, it was teen drama, so
Yeah.
par for the course.
unless I was like self-aware teen drama and I missed that, which I might have, because it took me a while to realize what Moody's point was. At first, I thought, when I was first watching, I thought Moody's point was a straight-up teen drama, which is crazy. That's a stupid thing to think. She lost her mom because she flew away in a hot air balloon that she lost control of.
That never came down.
I forgot about that.
What
the
a
only
stupid
goof I
idiot
remember-
child I was.
Wasn't there a goof where like one of the guys would just like beat the shit out of his locker dramatically?
That was the guy who Moody had a crush on, who was actually named Sternum. He was named Sternum.
Spalding was the guy who liked Moody that she just thought of as her friend.
Yeah.
Yeah, Sternum and Spalding.
And then there was a bit where her dad lost his toe, and it was like their analogy for like the dad getting cancer and AIDS at the same time or some shit.
Like, he couldn't stand up straight. He needed a prosthetic toe.
Which he made out of the tip of a hot dog. It was actually really gross.
Otherwise, he would just fall over, and I'm like, I'm
Immediately.
pretty sure.
I really hope literally everyone listening remembers this random thing that I'm amazed all three of us remember.
Moody's point
Otherwise,
was the thing
everyone's
that...
really confused.
It was the thing they did on the Amanda show. Which
It was
we
an
did
Amanda sketch, yeah.
It was not even like a sketch, though. It was something they would do like 2 sketches, and then it would be the remaining 18 minutes of the block.
And I always hated it.
I did, because I wanted to see the hillbillies and the block blister and all the other
And
sketches.
Tony Pajamas.
Here's the thing, every sketch was the same thing every time. It was such a catchphrase-driven show.
God, yeah.
Oh, I loved it. And I bet all those sketches are still good once. I don't know.
Dancing lobsters. Anyway.
So our next story is that Sylvain Chomet, this French director who directed Triplets of Belleville and The Illusionist, is started production on his third animated feature, The 1,000 Miles. Interestingly, he and his team will start designing characters and storyboarding this month. However, they're anticipating a release for next year. Which is a very fast turnaround for an animated film. For any film, actually. Usually the post-production process takes good chunk of time. Apparently, the project will be a mixed media sort of approach with a number of animation techniques that, quote, have rarely been combined. So they're experimenting with combining the expressiveness of Sylvian's 2D style with the stability of CG and the dimensionality of real actors. Quote, the final result is a spectacular hybrid that captures the uniqueness of 2D hand-drawn animation with the expansive nature of 3D technology. It's also going to be the first of his films that will use dialogue extensively. Most of his films are pretty silent or dialogue limited, based purely on visual storytelling. And the story is inspired by dream journals and other unpublished materials of iconic Italian film director Federico Fellini. It's described as a metaphysical journey between a pair of two aging brothers. There's some international celebrity voice casted, but the names aren't released yet. But they're described as two iconic American actors with Italian roots.
Danny DeVito. And Joey Pants. What's his Pantaleonelli? What's his actual name?
Pantaleone, I believe.
Pantaleone.
It's gonna range from 1920s black and white cartoon, sort of just classic style, to 70s psychedelic pop art. Whatever that's gonna look like. The official sort of synopsis is that two brothers separated by life's events are reunited by an old dream of taking part of the world-famous car race, the 1,000 Miles. Aldelmo is the talented and successful older brother. He used to be an acclaimed movie director, chatty, flamboyant, and gregarious. He will remind many of Federico Fellini. Umberto, known fondly as Peppino as a child, is the quiet one. He's a dreamer and stargazer. According to modern standards, his life has been less successful, especially in the last 2 decades, which he has spent in jail. As the duo head towards the start line and Brescia, their old car, Amilcar, the audience relives some major episodes of their past through a series of flashbacks, which visit key moments in their mutual journey, from their happy childhood when life was sumptuous, full of laughter and colors, to the wretched battlefields of World War II, and through the Dolce Vita of Rome in the 1960s.
In a year?
1
year!
In 1 year, he's gonna do all that! He's gonna make that movie.
Sure. You know what? Go for it.
I mean, we already have a piece of art here with the two bros and this cool, kind of old school, souped up car.
Something that's really, puckety as it goes down the road at 9 miles an hour.
Yeah, very puckety.
And then there's something else. Somebody who looks like... Okay, alright, I can't parse this, but this other picture above it.
Okay, so it looks like it's the battlefield of World War II, okay? Mm-hmm. And in the background, it looks like...
Two crashed Zeppelins?
Yeah, 2 crashed Zeppelins, but they kind of look like Ferris wheels, because they're lighted up.
I thought that was just fire.
Well,
they don't really have lights on them. Those are just like circles from the holes in the middle.
I don't know. I got kind of a theme park vibe from it too.
Yeah, it's sort of like a theme park mixed with the battlefield.
Yeah, like the structure of a roller coaster, like all the wood. And then there's a guy who looks kind of like Jesus, and a guy who's like
hiding behind Jesus. And Jesus is obviously Jesus because he's got his arms spread out, but he also has an army helmet, and there's barbed wire. I don't know, brah.
It's concept art. It's not a still, so
yeah. So we'll see.
Now this is Chome's third animated film. So he did Triplets of Beville, The Illusionist. Wasn't that the magician movie that was live action? Or am I thinking of something?
No, that was the different The Illusionist. We've talked about this on the show before.
Yeah, we did. The Illusionist and The Prestige. Which one had Bowie? I missed Bowie. Did either of them have Bowie? Am I losing my mind?
I think the Prestige was the one that had Bowie playing Nikola Tesla.
That's good casting.
No, he was great.
There were 2 The Illusionists. The live action one.
Was Bowie in anything animated other than that crappy SpongeBob special?
No, but the Labyrinth was mostly puppets.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I was going to get to that later, but
I guess we'll just do it now.
we can just talk about it
honestly,
now.
I just assumed we didn't need to report on it. Like,
Everybody knows. Like, I woke up.
who's coming to
no.
like? I hope everyone listening already knows David Bowie passed by the time this episode comes out.
I hope so.
Or you know what? I don't. Please continue your ignorant bliss under that rock.
It was literally the first thing I learned when I became conscious that morning.
See,
I wanted to go right to bed.
I was
I stayed up
hungover
late
in
and-
bed, unable to move, looking at my phone. It's like, what? Did I do this? Did my debauchery cause David Bowie? No, he went out on his own terms musically, like his best friend, Freddie Mercury.
He went out on amazing terms. Like, he had his birthday.
Dropped an album.
He dropped an album a week ago, had his birthday 2 days before he died, and then he died. That's like a story. That's not real.
Yeah, like, you're not allowed to do that.
Oh, anyway.
Oh, well, he's been told that a lot, I'm sure.
You see that one thing of him, like, I asked NASA if they would shoot me into space, and they said no. They're some of the most difficult people I've ever tried to work with.
Oh, man.
He had a voice role in the dub of Arthur and the Invisibles.
Oh.
But like that, because that was like that. It was one of those movies where like they just shoved the cast with a bunch of name actors, regardless of their experience with voice acting.
Mm-hmm.
Like I think Snoop Dogg was in there or something. Yep, Snoop Dogg, David Bowie, Madonna.
I love Bowie's speaking voice. He's got like the coolest regular voice.
I love his everything.
Yeah.
Yep.
He was like the coolest white dude we had left.
Oh, you know how like big of a deal this was? The official Strong Bad account tweeted about it.
Oh my gosh.
Wow.
Strong Bad at Strong Bad Actual, which is actually run by the Brothers Chaps. Like, I'll never be able to call Strong Sad the thick white dump again without shedding a little tear. And then an image of Strong Sad dressed as Aladdin Sane era David Bowie from the 5th Halloween special.
Oh.
The joke is that Strong Bad's fat and David Bowie was skinny.
Apparently,
Yeah.
A joke they've done a few times, like when Strong Sad dressed up as Andy Warhol.
Well, it's also
Apparently-
it's also like his thin white duke.
Yeah.
Era as well.
David Bowie was apparently in a video game in 1999 called Omicron with a K, the Nomad Soul.
What?
It was a David Cage video game, so I'm sure it wasn't
It was
great.
super duper bad.
Probably.
But do we have any more cool white dudes who haven't died yet? Christopher Lee's not dead. No, he is.
No.
Yeah, what?
Fuck! God damn it!
Like, that's not...
I'm
I'm
so
not-
mad at myself.
Oh, no.
And when I was in my fever dream, Lemmy died. I need to stop entering altered states.
It's Patrick Stewart and...
Yeah, Patrick Stewart and
Peace, dude.
best friend.
Ian McKellen.
Yeah.
Okay, they're not dead. Okay.
We gotta keep them in cryo sleep.
One last story. And this is about controversy.
It's about a dumb thing, because forget that... Sink that island. Sink it.
Alright.
David Bowie's not on it anymore, so who gives a
Yeah!
fuck?
It's get more and more things not keeping me from doing it. Not that I have the ability, but if I did, ooh...
So, Steven Universe has run into some censorship in the UK and European broadcasts.
Like, we expect this shit from Australia. Like, Australia, like, butchers cartoons.
Oh, yeah. They
There's
butcher everything.
There's a very extensive article on the Adventure Time wiki about every stupid thing they've cut out of every episode of Adventure Time. Trouble in Lumpy Space is unwatchable. They cut like half of it out. It's completely
I
incoherent.
have to imagine, is it even, like, would Steven Universe even air in Australia? Do they just freaking, like, they run the theme song, and then you just, like, it just cuts to like a test signal with the colors, and it's just an Australian guy going, like reading off the synopsis, and then Steven licks Connie.
No, he doesn't.
Can't
He
have
doesn't do that.
No,
not over
he
here.
has healing prayers.
What?
He says healing prayers.
Ugh, what a nanny state.
Oh, God. Okay. The scene in question that was cut was the fusion scene between Rose and Pearl in the episode We Need to Talk. It's been described by the censors as a kissing scene, though interestingly enough, I watched them side back to back. The parts that they cut isn't actually the part when they kiss. It's all the sexy dancing.
It's just a little bit of sexy dancing, like when Rose pulls Pearl in really close and they're like face to face.
Yeah.
And then instead it just shows the same gobsmacked shot of Greg being like, what the fuck am I watching?
And then again, when Rose Quartz does that sexy, like, ooh, Rainbow Quartz does that sexy, like, ooh, dance, where she kind of, like, squats. I don't know what the name for that.
She wiggles her butt as she squats.
Yeah. They cut that out, too. And replace it again with just Greg playing the guitar with his mouth open. Very awkward, very weird.
Like, what's even the thought process to what I mean, I guess I get it. It's objectively homophobic. There's no getting around that. But like, what's their excuse? It's like
I have it.
Oh,
well, even like the Rainbow Quartz thing. Like at that point, it's one person.
Yeah. So it's just a sexy cartoon.
Yeah, it was like a sexy thing she did, but there was other sexy stuff that didn't get cut. So I mean, like, stick to your guns, you bigots.
Yeah.
So
like,
this
do
was...
they just go by what specifically? Do they just go by specifically what gives them an erection? It's like, oh, I've got a boner. Clearly, something's wrong here.
They're illegal up here in the Isles.
Yeah.
You can tell we're sexually frustrated by our food. That's the thing about like the whole British mentality. They have great comedy because they hate themselves, but for the same reason they have terrible food.
Yep.
Like, I know that's like low-hanging comedy fruit, but I'm trying to extract the sociological reason why everything they eat is like twice boiled sheep butthole pie.
Okay.
How's it twice boiled? You take the sheep butthole, you boil that, you put it into a pie, and then you boil the whole pie, and then you then you feed it to some like gray soot-covered children. In the interest of fairness, the American equivalent is deep-fried pig butthole on a stick.
Fair.
Okay, can I talk now? All right. So this was the excuse that Cartoon Network gave via their Facebook page. Quote, Cartoon Network in Europe often shows amended versions of programs from U.S. originals. The U.S. broadcast system requires that shows are marked with a rating, in this case PG, parental guidance necessary. In the UK, we have to ensure everything on air is suitable for kids of any age at any time. We do feel that the slightly edited version is more comfortable for local kids and their parents.
Are they saying all children's programming or all programming ever? Because I don't think it has to be the first one, right?
Yeah, no, because there's plenty of I've watched plenty of shows not suitable for children that are British in origin and air on television. So like, they're not even giving an excuse here. They're just explaining what ratings are and what censorship is, and then going, and we think what we did is right.
Pink News.
It's okay because we think it's good.
Yeah, Pink News is the one who sort of followed up on this story. That the equivalent UK rating of Universal allows for characters to kiss and even make references to sexual behavior as long as there is no overt focus on sexual behavior, innuendo, or language.
And there's not, because it's just dancing and fusing.
Yeah,
it's dirty dancing.
Yeah, I mean, like, watching it again, I'm like, man, this is actually sexy as hell, and this is for kids.
The whole music video is is very sexy.
It's like, actually like maybe I don't know. It's a little much. It's kind of like I'm trying to like. It's like if you know anything, it's like kind of dripping with it. Like there's a thick sultriness to everything that's happening.
I mean, the amount of times they zoom in on Rose's lips while she's singing, like ugh.
But like, I mean, kids like it, so it's fine. I really think that, little kids aren't... I mean, I haven't hung out with, like, I haven't talked to kids about this cartoon because I'm, not in jail, but it's, I really do think the kids don't get that shit.
No, of course not. They get utterly over their heads.
What they get out of this is that Rose loves everybody, and in different ways, I would assume.
I guess.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know what I would have gotten out of it as a kid. But
yeah.
I literally didn't... I just never, like, mentally, consciously took in subtext as a kid. I just watched shit happen, and then, like, years later, I'd just be sitting there doing something, just be like, oh...
Oh, it was a metaphor for Christopher Robin being dead. And his children, like we had that whole episode about it, and Tooch just like, oh, okay. But, like, Nina and I love Search for Christopher Robin so much, we didn't understand what was going on the first 65 times we watched that movie.
No. And, like, even as a kid, like, I knew what sex was as a kid, but I was still a kid, so I didn't have, like, that dirty brain where I thought about it all the time.
Yeah, you didn't realize it's just pervasive in almost every ounce of media.
Yeah, I just watched stuff. I don't know.
Yeah, kids don't care.
I probably would have really liked the guitar solo. That's
kids
what
watch,
I would have focused on.
Like, especially, like, kids who are, like, a little bit older and have, like, more lax parents, they watch shit that, like, objectively isn't for them, and they don't care or think about that shit when it happens in front of them.
Yeah.
They just don't. They're just like, whatever, this isn't... Whatever. Sometimes. I mean, obviously it varies from child to child, but, like, there's nothing wrong with this.
No, I don't think so at all. Anyway, if you are outraged... There's, of course, an online petition that you can sign. I'm sure it'll be easy to find.
I don't think any online petition has ever done anything, but, like, it's not like a follow-up on them. Like, I think I've said this before. I once signed an online petition to get Weird Al to perform at the Super Bowl. And, which I still stand by, but, like...
Oh, no, absolutely.
Like, the Super Bowl's just gonna look at it and be like, we're not gonna do that. Fuck off. They're not binding.
And of course,
I was just watching the whole video while we were talking, but I forgot to pay attention to the UK edit, and I just watched the original accidentally.
Yeah,
it's like, man, this cartoon's good. Oh wait, fuck.
Yeah, I mean, obviously it's a homophobic move because they do show Rose and Greg kissing each other, and Rose and Greg flirting with each other, without any censorship whatsoever. They even show Rainbow Quartz's tight ass in that high-ass
leotard.
Did they censor? They don't censor that.
Did they censor when Amethyst cannonballed into Garnet's open legs?
I don't know. I don't know.
That like you'd think they'd had even the UK people would have even more of a problem with that fusion sequence because not only is it very, like, suggestive and, like, they're moving all around and gyrating and stuff, but they would probably call it too, quote-unquote, urban.
Yeah, you know, it's unfortunate because, you know, Steven Universe is doing a lot of great work in just normalizing, you know,
people,
gender and sexuality in general. So it's just...
normalizing more than one brand of person.
Exactly. More than one gender, more than one sexuality.
Race.
It can
Body
all exist
type.
in one person at the same time.
Yeah. And normalizing it without even calling it into question. Just showing you different people just doing shit. Like you do. You do shit.
Yeah.
You do shit all the time. You don't look anything like these weirdos.
You wish you did, because they're cool.
Yeah, they're great.
Should we do some reparations towards England and, like, say the couple of things we like?
Music and children's literature.
We like
I
Aardman.
have, like...
We like your rock music. You completely reinvented rock music in the 60s. You basically invented sketch comedy, or the modern form of sketch comedy. All sketch comedy post Monty Python owes itself to Monty Python. Black Books was really fucking funny. David
Black
Bowie.
Books was pretty funny. David Bowie, thanks.
Yeah.
But you guys didn't even like Dave. Well, I mean, the youth did, but British society certainly did not.
Your flag looks cool, although it's a symbol of imperialism, but, like, so is ours, but ours is ugly.
I mean, I don't know, even their music, like, isn't most of their music revolution just borrowed from other music movements throughout the world? So isn't that, like, a cultural imperialism?
They invented punk. They did do that.
Okay.
Yeah,
That may have been the first.
All their rock and roll is just stolen from American blues and rock.
Yeah.
I mean, they put their own spin on it in the 60s. Like, everything that's happening in the
they made it not as good.
Yeah, they made it white and palatable.
No, they made good
and
stuff.
Marketable.
Okay.
The Who?
Yeah, well, no, of course.
Don't fucking
pragmatic.
poop on the Who's hair. Anyway, all right.
God save the Queen.
Like they ruled the world for 5 minutes. I'm not gonna feel bad for them ever.
No, I like Welsh
Sorry.
corgis. Welsh corgis are great.
And English bulldogs.
English
Yeah.
bulldogs are pretty ballin'. Even though they have a lot of health problems.
They should diversify the gene pool a bit more with them, though. They used to be cool, and now they look like Jabba the Hutt, and it's sad.
Yeah, they have a lot of health problems.
But that's
I
dogs.
just want little friendly, fuzzy loaves of bread again.
Yeah.
Anyway, I'd still go to England. Give them
Oh yeah, totally. I'd go there.
I've been there. It's fine.
fun enough.
whatever.
Were you in Wales at the time?
But I was like close enough to the border where it was basically like a mishmash of Wales and England. Like I met more non-Welsh people than Welsh there.
Okay,
and
so
if you
like
call them Welsh. If you call them Welsh, they don't like it, even though they lived in Wales their entire lives.
Yeah, but like no, all accents are intelligible. Man, Wales.
Sure, they are.
Man, Wales, you can just do compared to Welsh. I mean, anything. Man, we're putting a lot of people on blast. Scotland, you're fine.
Oh yeah, Scotland's
Oh yeah,
cool.
oh yeah.
Ugh.
It's fine. They don't like each other.
Oh, I mean, Scotland knows the rest of the UK is bullshit.
Yeah.
I mean,
Oh man.
they all know they're bullshit. That's why they hate themselves so much.
Yeah, I mean, okay. All right, let's get into Spirited Away as soon as possible.